everyone, my name is Amrita and I'm here from Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. And this week at Camp in a Box, we're going to be talking about community helpers. The first community helper I want to talk about is painters. There's people who paint houses and schools and businesses and inside of buildings and outside. And this is a great example of somebody who works throughout the community and has a special skill set. Astronauts, believe it or not, are community helpers. And they have some very interesting jobs within their role. But there are commanders, pilots, mission specialists, and payload specialists. There's also astronauts that they go into space, and there are some who don't. But these are also community helpers. Bakers, in my opinion, are some of the best community helpers, along with our healthcare providers, because bakers provide us with something sweet or something tasty to enjoy. Here in Charlotte, there are some really amazing local bakeries that support individuals who don't have access to food. And there's also bakeries that teach classes and all kinds of things. So be sure to look for different resources here in Charlotte. Carpenters, this is another job. Many people know carpenters build things. They use wood to build things, and they work with architects as well as other contractors to build special projects. Chef. There are chefs all over the world, and they are some of our most amazing people on this planet because, again, they make us yummy, yummy food that we love. Chefs create meals for people. Here in Charlotte, there are some amazing chefs that are community helpers. We actually have something called the Senior Nutrition Program, and chefs that work for Mecklenburg County make food for older adults and give away food for free to older adults in Mecklenburg County so that they can stay healthy and have access to good quality meals. There's also chefs that work at schools, maybe in a cafeteria, chefs in restaurants, all kinds of places. So it's a really great career option. Grocer or groceries. A grocer is there to keep your groceries stocked, and they work in the produce department and they work at the register and all kinds of places, but they see almost everybody in the community. So I feel like a grocery store is very much a community hub. Construction workers help keep our streets nice and smooth, and they build all kinds of things, everything from streets to houses and buildings. They use all kinds of equipment, heavy machinery, things like that. And I'm sure you've seen construction sites because Charlotte, Mecklenburg County is just booming and getting so big. So there's a lot of construction everywhere. Dentists. Dentists are people who keep our teeth really clean, and they make sure that we are educated on the ways to keep our teeth clean so that we don't get cavities. Dentists, really, they help us quite a bit because without good oral hygiene or good care of the inside of our mouths, then we would get sick. And so dentists are there to make sure that we're cleaning germs off of our teeth and making sure that we are flossing so that we can prevent cavities from happening. It's always good to take care of your teeth and be proactive about dental care versus reactive. Doctors are our most important community helpers, doctors and nurses, because they take care of sick people, they take care of healthy people. You know, they're keeping us safe right now from the virus and pandemic. they're there if we don't feel well, and they have so much knowledge from many, many years of studying and experience. So I would say doctors are probably our most valued community workers. E.M.T is somebody who works in an emergency vehicle, like an ambulance. And so an emergency medical technician will uh, go to an accident site, and they will help take people who might be injured to the hospital. EMTs also will go to your home if you dial 911 and you need help. They'll dispatch an ambulance to come to your home and check on you and make sure you're okay, and then again transport you to the hospital. So this is a very, very important community job. Of course, firefighters keep us safe from big blazing fires. They There are volunteer fire departments as well as fire departments that are funded by the community. And so, but I like to think of all firefighters as community helpers, whether you're volunteer or not, because again, they're keeping us safe if ever there's a fire to happen. They also are a great community resource when parents have babies and they might not be familiar with how to put a car seat inside of the vehicle. The fire department is there to do safety checks for families to make sure that kids are riding in cars safely. And they also like to talk a lot about fire safety and preventative fire safety. So they work a lot in schools to talk to children and students just like you. Teachers, oh my goodness. Teachers help us so much. Teachers help our brains grow, and they teach us all types of skills and subjects like reading and writing and math and history and science and world cultures. Teachers expand our world and help us to learn new things, and they hold a very special place in my heart. And a mail carrier. I know I've written mailman here, but mail carrier, because you don't have to be a man to be a mail carrier. You could be a man or a woman. But mail carriers, they take our mail. They deliver our mail for us, and they're a part of the U.S. government. This is a community helper if ever there was. And without the mail, we wouldn't stay connected with our friends and family. We wouldn't stay connected with the different agencies we're affiliated with, or even be able to pay our bills sometimes. So really important to have mail service. Mayors. Mayors are community helpers, and they work for towns or cities, and they represent the voice of the people. They are there to help guide cities in making decisions. And yeah, we talked about nurses and doctors and pharmacists. They work at the pharmacy and they fill prescriptions, and sometimes they're wearing a white shirt or white coat. But a pharmacist, they basically learn a lot about medicine and how to dispense or how to properly give medicine to customers that need it. Plumbers do exactly what they sound like they do in their job title. Plumbers help keep our plumbing fixed. If you ever have a leak, or if you've got a sink that doesn't have water coming out properly, plumber is there to call and get some help. Police officers do a lot to keep us safe in our communities. They educate us on home safety. They, check and make sure that if something bad is happening, that they're there to stop it and put the people who are doing bad things in jail. And they're basically there to enforce our laws. And sanitation workers work for the city or the county usually, and they pick up our stinky trash and our garbage. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. We talked about teachers, veterinarians. Veterinarians help our pets to stay healthy. Zookeepers keep animals in a zoo safe and protected and healthy. And now we are going to read a book called Clothesline Clues to Jobs People Do. And this is a really fun book because I'm going to read a clue and then you're going to guess what that community helper does or what the name of the community helper is. So the authors of this book are Catherine Healing and Deborah Hembrook, and it's illustrated by Andy Robert Davies. Look at the clothesline and see every clue. Who uses these things for the jobs that they do? Uniform cap, an invite for you. Big bag of letters, what job does she do? So if you take a minute and look at all the different pictures on the screen, you're going to see there's a coat with a little piece of mail on it and some pants with stripes down the side and a hat with mail on it. It looks like there's a mail bag with some party invitations. You guessed it. You're right. She is a mail carrier. Milk pail and straw hat, overalls and blue. Plaid shirt bandana, what job does she do? Does he do? You guessed it. He's a farmer, and it looks like he's got a big bushel of strawberries or maybe tomatoes. I see some carrots and corn. Has anybody been to a farm lately? I know here in Charlotte there's a lot of farms to explore. Oven mitts, apron, recipe for stew, puffy hat and whisk. What job does he do? You guessed it. He's a chef. Smock, beret, and brushes, paints of every hue. Canvas and easel, what job does he do? He is an artist. Oh, and it looks like the mail carrier has come to deliver something for him. Coveralls, tool belt, work gloves, and glue. Safety glasses, saw. What job does she do? She is a carpenter, just like we talked about. Heavy pants, helmet, wide suspenders too. Rescue coat, long hose. What job does she do? She is a firefighter. And look, there's that mail carrier delivering mail again. Spacesuit and jetpack, star charts to review, flight gloves and moon boots. What job does she do? You guessed it. She is an astronaut. And look at all these people coming and bringing things. These clothes are all clues to jobs people do. Is one of these jobs just right for you? And here they're having a party. It's a launch party. And there's a sign that says good luck. And the carpenter made a big sign. And the farmer has brought some foods. And the chef has made cakes and sandwiches. And the artist has made a drawing. And these are all of our community helpers. Well, I have one more story. And this story, let me go back a second. There we go. Whose hands are these? A community helper guessing book. So this is another book where I'm going to read you the clue and you're going to let me know what the job is. Whose hands are these? Hands can wiggle, hands can clap, hands can rap, flap, and tap. But hands can help. So raise yours, please. Can you guess whose hands are these? Hoe and sow, these hands are soiled. Sweep and reap, these hands have toiled. In the barn, these hands are charmers. These hands belong to many farmers. Choose, peruse, these hands are picky. Mix and mash, these hands are sticky. These hands flip through food-stained books. These hands belong to gifted cooks. Stop and go, these hands are waving. Catch that guy, he's misbehaving. Those hands help us keep the peace. Hold yours up, it's the police. Quest and test, these hands are turning. Test again, these hands are learning. Weigh and count, their work persists. These hands belong to scientists. Push and play, these hands are shaping. Wet with clay, these hands are scraping. These hands keep on adding water. These are the hands of one great potter. Taking notes, these hands are writing. Breaking story, how exciting. These hands can type or hold recorders. These hands belong to news reporters. Yank and crank, these hands are smeared. Reach and wrench, they've disappeared. When something breaks, these hands don't panic. These hands belong to a mechanic. Dream and sketch, these hands draw lines. Stack and build, they form designs. Measure twice, check all the specs. These hands belong to architects. Arms up high, these hands keep score. Throwing flags, they say no more. Each hand signs and oversees. These hands belong to referees. Rub and scrub, these hands are clean. Wearing gloves, these hands are green. These hands all have healing missions. And let's see, I'm so sorry again. See that last line? These are physicians. Come on in, these hands wave sweetly. Caked in chalk, these hands write neatly. These hands care for kids and creatures. These hands belong to helpful teachers, just like yours. Greeting, eating, dressing, sharing, cleaning, caring, or repairing. Let your hands try something new. One day, what could your hands do? And that is the end of our story. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer. Bye, and thanks again.